911 emergency, what are you reporting?
There's a lady on the side of the road needing help.
Okay, I have an officer en route to the Highway 113 that's connecting to the northbound 5 because we've had reports of a female trying to flag people down. Does that sound about the same?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the female? Do we know?
What?
Do you know what's wrong with her?
She's saying that she got kicked out of her boyfriend's.
Okay, just be safe where you are. What is she asking for?
She's asking for an ambulance. You're chained up.
She's chained up?
She's chained up. Her vision's blurry, and she needs an ambulance.
Do you see her chained up?
Yes. Here.
Can I talk to her?
Here.
I want to call my husband.
Ma'am, right now I need you to get me information so I can help you. We will get in touch with your husband as well. But right
I need an ambulance.
Okay,
Please.
I have officers and I have ambulance on the way. Right now I need you to talk to me.
I want to call my husband. I want to call my husband.
This is Sherri Papini, and on the morning of November 2nd, 2016, she vanished while out for a jog near her home in Redding, California. Her husband, Keith Papini, returned home from work and found she hadn't picked up their kids from daycare. For the next 22 days, a massive search effort unfolded. Then on Thanksgiving Day, Sherri was found on a rural road over 100 miles away with bindings on her wrist and injuries on her body. This confession takes place 4 years after the initial search, and in the next 18 seconds, the lead detective will show her a picture of 6 women that match the description of her abductors. What the detectives don't know yet is that she never got kidnapped in the first place.
Sit back and see if you recognize anybody. See these 6 photos. You don't feel like you have to provide an answer. There's no right or wrong answer. Just let us know if you see anybody in this photo that you do recognize, and if you do, we'll talk about how. Okay. So nobody jumps out?
I mean, this one a little bit, but
Can you say this one a little bit? Which number is it?
number 3,
And when you're ready, I'll show you another
nothing's
one.
really like,
There's nothing in there that says, oh yeah, that's her.
no.
Okay.
Like trying to picture her with different hair and stuff.
That's a pleasant group of people.
And again, Keith, you just, same thing.
She's got that puffy under those eyes, but I don't know.
Here, Sherri's posture shifts. She leans forward, burying her face in hands. This is a sign of pressure, and she is trying to keep her composure by covering her face. This is one of many pieces of body language Sherri gives without even noticing that leads the detectives to a confession.
This is really hard.
Take your time.
I would say right here is what's drawing me to this photo.
So on photo number 5,
Yeah.
Smartly, this is the first one we showed you. This is the second one we showed you. So on 6-bet number 2,
But like you were saying, if someone were to lose weight, that would change.
you're drawn to photo number 5?
Yes,
Features of photo number 5?
correct.
And again, just for the record and for when you go back, like number 1 is, when you say 3 is similar, she's similar to the younger female that we've always described in everything.
This part right here doesn't really match what I'm remembering, but
The
yes.
hairline doesn't match?
Smaller one, older one.
And just because it's been a long time.
In the next moment, this detective will use a technique called repeated recall to restate the sequence of events, physical details, or descriptions of people. This technique, used early on in the interrogation, allows room for inconsistencies in descriptions later. Watch how Sherri describes her abductors soon after.
Can you remind me what the younger one did, like the main parts of it compared to the older one, just for the last, like, clarity of stuff? So for the record, so.
The younger one's the one that let me go,
Okay.
and was the nicer of the 2.
Okay.
The older one was really abusive and really mean, and is the one that did all the really terrible things.
Okay. And that's my memory too,
Mhm.
just trying to reference it for our notes and.
You're not
Is
coming
number
back.
3 alive in that photo?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then one more.
I don't think anyone in this one really.
So for six-pack number 3, nobody.
I don't
Really?
think so.
Again, Sherri covers her face when the detectives show her pictures of potential suspects. The first time she did this, it may just have been a nervous reaction, but her repeating this a second time under the nearly identical circumstances reveals a pattern, and she doesn't know the detectives are picking up on it.
So,
So if you look at this
Oh.
closet,
Here the detectives will begin to show a series of images that match with descriptions and drawings Sherri made. Presenting physical evidence allows the detectives to ask direct questions and use strategic silence to create discomfort. Watch Sherri's body language as these series of photos are revealed.
obviously,
no,
there's
anything-
stuff in there now.
I'm not looking at the stuff.
I literally was cleaning papers out yesterday and found that drawing that you did. I haven't even looked at the picture yet, but I've seen it now. Can I look at it?
There's some more.
you remember this
I
drawing?
mean,
Yes! I just found the original one of that and I was trying to explain.
it's a little bit different, but it's pretty, excuse my language, it's pretty fucking similar. But it's different.
What's different or what's
Yeah.
the same?
It's hard, there's a lot of shit in the photos, but
Well, let's just focus on,
Yeah.
let's focus on those two, because there's less color. I've walked the streets with my wife in Mexico, and we went
Yeah.
through every shop because of the color changes. No, nothing, not because there was anything new in it, just the color.
Now, can I ask a question? Is this from the same house as that?
We don't
We'll
get
get to
to
that.
Oh, okay.
What do you see in this photo, Sherri? Like what? You said it looks very similar. What's
I mean,
similar?
this is what I'm remembering, that feeling, you know, grabbing it and feeling that feeling. But
Mhm.
this part is different. This part is different. That definitely
So
doesn't
you're saying
look
this
the
metal
same.
part, it looks the same as what you remember, but this piece right here,
This part doesn't look the same, right?
and what was the difference in it?
That there was a lot more. There was a lot more there.
Like bulkier?
Yes,
Reinforced
thank
or-
you.
I don't think the pictures really show.
Window. With the wood paneling? Trying to ignore the TV and stuff, I don't think you had a TV with you, right?
Definitely not. What am I looking for the window? Do you wanna know if it's like the same height, if
Well,
it's?
in
the
the-
type of
where in
window,
the
the
room?
wall itself, anything
Right.
from these photos that make you believe that this was where you were being held.
I feel like this wood paneling is too thick, but I mean,
You mean this
there
way?
was wood paneling, but I can't remember something like that being there. And I don't remember.
You've probably noticed by now Sherri has repeated the body language of covering her face in response to photographic evidence. By now the detectives can label this as repetitive behavioral clusters, which is when someone repeats the same body language in reaction to the same type of question. Since the beginning of questioning, the detectives have agreed with Sherri to lower her defense. What they will now do soon is called the transition technique. This shift induces psychological discomfort and aims to overwhelm the subject's cognitive defenses by asking rapid-fire questions or leaning in physically.
So maybe not that one.
So, we're showing you all of this because ultimately this is the house that you were at. We talked to the people who live there.
Sorry.
We found the house. We found who was involved. We talked to who was involved. We talked to family who knows that you were there, and talked to a couple people or talked to one guy who did see you during this event. Unfortunately, there's a lot of truths. There's a lot of things that were said that we have always confirmed. That we've always said. There's a lot of truths, and then there's some unknowns. Like one of the simple ones, like, well, this description of the bathroom is just weird. Like that was like an argument in all of our offices where we were sitting there like this part's weird. But then we find a house with it. Then the all thread through the thing, that's just weird.
It's unique to this place. Like that's a pretty custom. You can't just go out to IKEA and buy a closet that looks like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So once we have all those things and we start talking to the person who lives here, who had lived there, who still lives there, start talking to his family and starting that whole investigation, peeling one thing back after another, doing the same thing we've done for the last 4 years. It led us to a specific person, but not a female. It led us to the car that picked you up, but not an SUV. So there's lots of different aspects that are truths and falses. And we're to the point now that nobody would have ever imagined that this would have blown up the way that it did. So I've been a cop 15 years. I've never seen the media scale that this garnered pretty quickly. How long have you been in law enforcement now?
12 years in the Bureau.
So, like, of the minds, Brian, who's been around 20 plus years, people who've been in my office like 25, 30 plus years, the media attention that this got out was insane. So I think with that being said, some choices and some decisions ultimately changed the original path of what happened. I don't think anybody would have wished the media frenzy that occurred, like for this event, no matter what the situation, if it was a kid, because the media skewed so many facts. It brought so many people in from the woodwork that if we didn't have the woodwork, we wouldn't have the noise.
And that brings a lot of pressure when you get that kind of scrutiny.
So we'd like to talk to you more about those things, and we can do it with Keith here, or we can ask Keith to leave. It's whatever you're comfortable with, so we can break down some of the problems. If you want Keith here, all we want is to have the truth. All we want is to be able to tell the truth. That's all we've ever wanted from day one. We've talked with you for hours, we've been there, we've done all these different things, waiting for something, waiting for it to break, waiting for us to lead something to here. Because the DNA came back, like I said, to a specific person. That specific person told us very specific things. His family then told us specific things. So if we can talk with Keith or without Keith here, what would you like? It's completely up to you. And like I've always said, I wanted you to have a voice. I wanted you to make decisions. I wanted you to control certain aspects. I think I told you that on the first interview we ever had. I never want to bully you. I never want you to believe I'm bullying you. I want you to take back control. That's one of those things. This is that take back control of the interview, which I promised you to do the first time we talked, if you remember that. Actually, we were in Mount Shasta, so the second time we talked.
It's been a long road, Sherri, but we just want to talk to you. We can have Keith step out if that's going to make you more comfortable.
But it's up to you.
Do you want to step out or do you want to stay?
Obviously, I want to stay.
Or we can do a little bit of both. Talk to your room first and then have him come back in.
The reason detectives are suggesting for Keith to leave the room is because Keith is unaware of any possible reality the kidnapping was fake. You can see visible discomfort in Sherri when they ask her if she wants Keith to leave, but the detectives do a great job in reassuring her that it's about getting the truth and making her as comfortable as possible. Of course, in detective nature, this was a lie.
It's completely up to you. And that's why I'm not even looking at Keith. I don't care about your opinion, Keith. What we want out of this is the truth. So we can get ahead of some things, so we can help control things, how crazy things got, so the unknown of if I say certain things, what's Keith's reaction? Because you don't know what I'm going to say, right? So I don't know Keith's reaction either. So if I say other things like, oh, Keith won't worry about that, he can come back in. But I'd rather give you the opportunity to hear things, be able to judge it, because at everything, right, I'm saying things to you that are making you nervous. It's making Keith nervous. It's changing the element, right? We changed the tone of the interview.
You can feel it already in the room from the way you walked in to what you're feeling right now.
Well, I mean, law enforcement has always been an issue, so.
Okay.
So if you want Keith to leave, I'll ask Keith nicely to leave. If you don't want Keith to leave, then he can sit here and
let's
listen
press
to
on.
you,
We'll press on.
and we'll move on to the next stages. But I want to give you that opportunity first. This next stage of things could be benign, could be like, we forgot to tell you this, or oh yeah, all of these things make sense now. I could tell you the puzzle that makes it all come together, or I can tell the puzzle that crashes everything apart. I don't know what that piece is, honestly. All I know is facts. All I know is certain specific items that will either tear the castle down or is going to build the castle up. And I don't want to tear the castle down and not give you the ability to then fix your own castle. Even if it's just a small thing here or it's the whole castle, I want you to be able to choose that. So we can step out of the room, let you guys talk, because I don't know what information I'm going to do, if it's life-changing news or if it's, oh yeah, everything's fine. I just don't know what it is. Usually, right, we show the pictures because everybody's invested in this picture. Keith do the drawings. Keith's the one who gave this stuff. So Keith has always been a part of your memory for small details. And that's why Keith's been in here this whole time. And that's why.
He makes me feel safe in you.
Well,
Absolutely.
if he makes you feel safe too, we can continue on.
Go
I know
ahead.
you can
Can I
change your mind.
talk to him for a
Absolutely.
minute?
And again, I just don't know what the pieces are. So if I would say, hey, this is going to bring the whole world down, I'd tell you, this is going to bring the whole world down. And then we need to talk alone. Or I would suggest we talk alone. But that's completely up to you guys because I don't know.
I just want to talk to
Yeah,
you for just a
we'll
minute.
be right back.
You need to stop what you're doing and tell me the truth. I don't like anything that's happening right now. Yeah, whatever you're doing right now doesn't mean stuff to me. Okay, but what's that guy knows about what's going on, so you need to explain to me.
I don't give a shit about that. I don't want them to find her. I don't want them to find her. I don't want her to be arrested. I
That's
don't want to
good.
press
Tell me
charges
what
on her. I don't want to find
That's
her.
good. Explain to me right now then. You prescribe this.
I don't know. I don't want them to find her. You're not listening
But
to
tell
me.
me why.
Because she saved my life.
But tell me, honey, there's obviously something going on. There's obviously something going on. Tell me this is going to be really bad if you don't tell me.
Look at how you're being right now.
I am.
I'm fucking with you.
No, I'm not being.
I don't want them to find her. I don't want to press charges, and I don't want to go down that road.
But you tell her?
She doesn't want the police to find her because there is no her.
I don't want to go down that road. I don't
Tell
want
me
to
why.
arrest her because she saved my life, and she's the reason why I get to hold my children
I
every
want you to
single day.
know, in Because you don't want to get it to the police. I don't want them to monitor. What did you lie on?
I don't want them to arrest her.
Why?
Because she saved my life.
So you don't press charge. They still need to find out who it is. So, you need to tell them the truth. Everyone the truth. If you don't want to press charges, then that's up to you.
I don't think I can do that.
You're not making sense to me. To the point where I'm getting scared now. So you need to tell me what's going on immediately. Yeah. Or I can talk to him and tell him what you're thinking. Do you want me in the room or not?
And obviously,
Hopefully you've had a chance to chat briefly.
the fears,
Later, maybe. Yeah, I feel like you're in the driver's seat right now.
I think it's easier to control things once you know what the information is, to be honest with you, Sherri. So I can tell you what it is, say what it is when Keith leaves, and then you can say yes or no, whether or not you want him in there for the rest of it.
For right now, he's just, am I in the room or am I out of the room? So that's the.
And I'm to the point where if you want him here, we'll just go on with the conversation.
As long as you're not interrupting or
Yeah.
causing a disturbance.
I'll stay over here.
But if he steps out, I can say a name, and then you can choose whether you want him in here for the rest of it or not. It's completely up to you. Or I can just continue on, and again, like I said, I wanted you to always have control over certain aspects of stuff. We're not to a point where anybody's going to jail yet. We're not to a point of anything like that. We're just still at the talking stage. We're at the control stage.
You seem scared, Sherri.
No, it's not